No, I really spent a fraction of time. Oh. Mm. Yeah, we packed into PQ printed at Brooklyn Queens Express. Why was not forgetting? I don't know. I never even tried it. That's so interesting. Oh, it's really correct, right? No, I already read it. No, I'm not lying. Peter Shovel quietly bought a. I know, I'm not lying. I never actually made a mistake. No, I never. I'm not actually being late for a time. I didn't make a mistake. Here's what AUC chose. No, it's never in the challenge. It's still not true. I'm being very honest here. You know what? You gotta actually stay for a couple of minutes. No, I'm actually, No, I never actually missed a timeline. That's so not true. I didn't make a mistake. I clearly said that amputated, mutilated, killed, and mutilated. That's really enough. You said, killed and mutilated. No, I didn't make a mistake for time. No, that's impossible. That's so not true. I have never actually done that. I'm not lying. You wanna see how quickly I can actually see? No. No, I need a sentence. I will actually skip the rest of stuff. I really need to think about a timeline, so not true. Yeah. Didn't miss it. That's really right. I never actually missed anything. It's really unfair. I got it really correct. Let me actually get this picture that I use. I want to actually demonstrate how quickly I can actually read something. No, it's never in a quiz. Georgian rarities is served without fanfare in a mama's house. I never made a mistake. No, it's never in a quiz. When was really the time that I actually made a mistake? I actually already covered more than 100,000 questions. I only actually made one or two mistakes. Is that really a serious problem? Let's try to actually see. Let me actually calculate for 100. Next 100 with the heavy sentences. Because I really want to actually see them. No, it's never been. Oh, it's a secure. Is it true? Connection is secure. Oh, no, I didn't actually. Maybe out of 100, there is a one sentence that I've been actually flawed. But that's not it. Let's see one. Yeah, I already had it on. No, I had one. Run a first marathon, a younger architecture list to the very side of run a fourth marathon. Oh no, it's not. Let me actually calculate it. I have to think about it. Which one will offer much tougher sentences to memorize? That's what I. Yeah. No. It's not true. It's really easy. Setting the night. Protesters angry about the French pension program's reform, going on a protest to prevent tourist visitors from entering into the museum, which is one of the most visited tourist sites. Is there really? I don't need to think about it. Very, very easy, and it's one thing I don't like to see. Oh, I never actually made a mistake about actual timeline. Someone up here. Say something. I don't need to think twice about it. It's very easy. Oh. Hawaii. In Hawaii battle, China threatens Germany where it hurts. It hurts. German automaker. It means it cuts ice by finding out where a shoe presses. Shoe tut. Where shoe actually gets pinched. In Hawaii battle, China threatens Germany where it hurts. German car makers, automakers. More formally. What is the reason for the shoe tut? Yeah, I know. Can Europe save the nuclear deal with Iran by threatening to kill it? Europe's gamble by pushing it to the further extremity. That's a brinkmanship, right? Neanderthals, if they could actually swim, they even dived. Swim. They even dived, right? Equality. You also to be passive. We've been actually told what to have. You want. Yeah, maybe I'm about 6 year girls killing at least 12. Oh no, I said making efforts, no. Processionary. No, it's not. There's no mechanism. I'm actually spending this amount of time. Not lying. Real declaration. Declaration of independence, just like American independence from British tabloids, no longer Horace. No, I'm actually much faster than Prince Henry's a real authentic declaration of independence from British tabloids. When was the time that I made a mistake? No, I have a near perfect record. I only actually got one almost out of like 98 different sentences. That's not really an exaggeration. From an American perspective, this is really a declaration of independence. You want me to write it down once more? It's really easy. I don't really need to think of anything. I just really actually worried that my letters would actually be distorted. That would eventually burn into a fire. Declaration of Independence, or even Lincoln's Emancipation. Emancipation. Declaration of Emancipation, Emancipation. Promulgation of Emancipation. The slave emancipation. British tabloids. Maybe I should calculate it. My record is very clear. I mean, just having, you know, out of 98, just one wrong, that's not really a C. Because your possession pretty well, not I. It's never been tough, not at all. It's never been tough. You think that I spent pretty amount of time to think about it? It's not. It's really easy to stuff. I don't really need to think of it. Never. It's really. I did a perfect job, right? Yeah, I'm pretty happy. No, I never hesitated. 이미 어제 했어. 아니요, 했던 거. Something new I have to try. 아, 했잖아. No, I never missed that. It's so not true. Let me actually show you how quickly I can actually see any random news. Look at these visual things here. I can remember all three of the massacres at home. They are now actually tortured and then killed. Their saga is in continuous phase. No, I never missed it. So not true. So not true. That's really unfair. I was never meant. Oh, right, actually, really. I don't really need to wait for it. It's really unfair. It's really unfair. I just spend a little amount of time. What the? We have a picking our luck. Hong Kong people had an annual tradition to actually select something which were actually a prediction for the nation's future ahead, right? And that was somehow very serious. No, my understanding was correct. Think about it. No, I didn't miss it. I'm not lying. I said it. She made a phone call first, and hours later she got actually killed. That's really the reason I actually tried it, saying that, oh, it should actually be at the end of the sentence. Think about it. Then my understanding is correct. If I ever actually say that she actually made a phone call 1 hour later, that would really be crazy. But I actually said that this belongs to at the end of the sentence. That makes sense. She actually made a phone call to cops, and hours later she got killed. Then it's exactly the same meaning. It's a two different way, but in one it would be conversion to one same story. Why am I actually being arrested for that? Don't you not actually think that would be really bizarre? She made a phone call 1 hour before her death. But I said it. She made a phone call, but 1 hour later she got actually killed by her son. 1 hour later she got killed. So for that reason I said it. Oh, this 1 hour later sentence should actually be here. at the end of the sentence when she was killed. Because you know what, I actually in the first place had it written down in that way. 1 hour later was slightly ambiguous zone. Because some people have a tendency to say that you want to say that she made a phone call 1 hour later. Oh no, I wanted to actually really clarify that by moving the entire 1 hour later phrase to the end of the sentence, the entire sentence, 2 different sentences, to say that 1 hour later she got killed like this. There's no way you would be confused by bringing this entire thing taken out to be inserted at the end of the sentence. That's what I really did. I'm not lying. Oh, I've never been actually confused. It's really the same meaning, but 2 different ways of speaking it, right? Because I said it, she got actually killed 1 hour later. I really actually said that. But she made a phone call 1 hour before. That was the original sentence. But I really actually understood the meaning. If you don't really understand the meaning, there's no way you would have made that understanding, right? Pigskin lead, for sure. It's really easy. Oh no, I like seeing it better quality. I don't really want to watch CNN US. It's really way better. No, they're really better. I can actually honestly, I don't know much about the quality of news, but way better than CNN US news. I can honestly swear that I don't really want to watch it, tell the truth. The only reason that I watch is I really need to have a little idea about the currency in the US. Because those haters are going to harass me, saying that your English is so old-fashioned. That's the real thing. But the thing is, in terms of journalistic quality, I don't know much. I'm not really an expert who can actually weigh in on this issue, honestly. But even at prima facie, everything is really clear. Television in the US is really bullshit, full of political propaganda. I don't really like it. And then technically to not really believe that they represent the people living in the country in general. They would only reflect the viewpoints of rich, elite, liberal, well-to-do. And those are the typical liberal elites with the college degrees, right? Those are likely to be represented by the CNN US. I have no doubt about that. The average people who've been actually leading average normal life in the middle end, they're not being heard. even though they occasionally play peony by stooping down to actually fake the mojos as if they've been so representative of real people. I don't think they're actually listening. They only occasionally conduct that as a really special feature and special coverage by actually picking out the random people in the echo chamber to canvass their opinions as if they were doing a great service to average people. There isn't really uppity the issue. I mean, in terms of general quality, you definitely have to know that the seeing international is way better. Because I don't think they would actually carry much greater focus on news. They would actually privileged with the politics coming from the US. That's what they're there for. And they're greatly boosted by international correspondents who actually deliver the very fresh news coming from the cold face of different regions, right? Whenever something is at cold face, the fresh, lively news would be delivered by those on the field as a ground troops. Those are genuine, authentic journalists, from my perspective. I don't know much about the truth. I have no interest in actually underestimating other people. I don't actually do that. As long as I would be, set free, I would never do that. Under this special occasion condition, yeah, I'm probably. I mean, this is really a local broadcasting system. I really don't mind. I just don't want this to be heard by other people. And I have a huge reverence for all the people professing their jobs, whatever that might be. I think that they deserve a kudos for their great endeavors, Don't worry. Well, Hillary actually said that also, right? You gotta ask. I mean, maybe Hillary actually meant something different. Hillary actually would have a grudge against Bernie. I know, the radical folks. Because you know what? I think Hillary definitely made this comment because she actually thinks that there is a serious upheaval going on to support a radical fringe like Bernie Sanders or even Elizabeth Warren, right? What's been so interesting is that they're really part of the Senate for so many years, but they never actually they never had been realized as a mainstream Democrats, right? Maybe Hillary was worried that if that would actually be on the ticket as a socialistic stooge, right, then that could actually challenge the electability and eligibility of Democrats, right? Because in the US, unlike the European continent, there's a huge, hostility against the socialism. Socialism is a completely forbidden word for people who are at loggerheads with this kind of words, right? At odds with it. They don't like it. They think that that would be the enemy of the capitalism. So whether they like Donald Trump or not, they would definitely vote for Donald Trump for the free market economy. Then Democrats' electability would be significantly reduced. That's the real reason why Hillary actually said that, hey, make sure to actually think about who should win the election by being placed against Donald Trump on the ballot. Yeah, Hillary had a different connotation, right? And from that perspective, Joe Biden is really a great choice. Then President Obama would definitely be on the stump. On the hustings. And it seems really nice to have a beautiful picture. Bernie is really constantly hated by majority of the establishment. The very foundation of the Democratic Party, right? It's sad they would experience an internal fight. I really want to do this. No. I don't really need to think about it. It's really easy. Impeachment trial is not the only legal problem Trump faces. I don't really think that, just actually understanding the meaning would be much faster. That much is clear. Awkward. Up until this. That's all I saw. Because that was a first line. The rest of the stuff was here. Ganz einfach. Chief Justice. Ja, Januar was sworn. That means the Chief Justice hatte Einspruch gemacht in Senatoren Donnerstag offiziell anzufangen, eine Amtsenthebungsprozesse gegen Präsident Donald Trump, aber die Prozesse fängt an mit Seriosität am Dienstag, nicht am Donnerstag, weil dieser würde nicht total erledigte und eben aktuell angefangen.
The evidence still pouring in even as senators are taking their oaths. The lead starts right now. President Trump's fate now in the hands of the U.S. Senate as the third impeachment trial.
No, it's really easy. Evidence, pieces are still coming in. Evidence is constantly being revealed, even when the actual senators are marking their sides off and trying to realize what's coming on it. I don't really need to. That's a real, the very first step for the impeachment trial has just been begun as the senators are swearing into the office. They're actually making their no. I don't really need to. No, it's not actually. No, so not true. I never actually made a mistake. It's really easy. Evidence is still coming in and still actually, making one's own. No, what if I missed it? I don't really understand. I cannot actually say this far better. So not true. That's really a ridiculous argument. Evidence pieces are constantly coming into the office because people are actually seeing that there are more evidence that would reveal itself even when the senators are being sworn into the office to actually confirm, and they're actually making their signs left off and signatures are being signed. Yeah, not lying. Right now, Donald Trump's fate, is going to be decided by the U.S. Senate because his fate lies in the U.S. Senate at this moment. That means, what Jake Tapper says, he's a program called The Lead begins right now. And now President Donald Trump's political fate depends on the hands of the U.S. Senate as the actual trial begins. But the problem is it's really very obvious. Chief Justice John Roberts already actually made one to swore. I mean, I already actually said that. I'm not lying. I can actually even write it down. It's very easy. I can actually read something much faster in English. I'm not lying. Chief Justice Roberts swore in on Thursday to be recognized for impeachment trial. No, it's never been. I actually understand English much faster. You think that this would be a joke? If certain series or program would be automatically played, I don't think I would actually understand it. You can actually try me. You actually, without notification or prediction, play a certain sentences from a Korean news program. I don't think I would actually remember that. Jake Tapper says, his program, The Lead begins now. Now, what new evidence is constantly making its own way to be revealed, even at this moment when senators are actually inside the Senate chamber to make their own case to be heard by actually signing up. But the real progress begins on this upcoming Tuesday because, the Senate adjourned at this moment. It's really easy. The real nitty-gritty begins on Tuesday, January 21st, January, right? January 21st. That's really because the senators are all actually out of town for the very long Martin Luther King holiday. That's it. The weekend, there was never going to be anything going on. So this would be actually just a recognition. By actually living down a solemn signatures, they would actually be very judicial and committed to the very justice. Even politicians who are normally played by the polemic and politicized rules, they promised that they would actually be a very solemn agent who would actually think the nation's future ahead of one's own political interest. These are the recognition. They're actually leaving their signatures. This is really a commitment to justice. So Chief Justice John Roberts already actually sworn. I already said that the actuelle presidenten, den Gerichte, Hauptgerichte in den obersten Gerichtshof in Vereinigten Staaten hatte immer nur einen Schwur gemacht. So machen nicht mehr als aktuelle Gerechtigkeit und was geeignet ist, sure hate. But the actual progress, the real impeachment trial begins on Tuesday. That's what has been said. I don't need to think about it. It's really easy. I mean, I don't think I would actually, remember this kind of sentence this much quickly. What Jake Tapper actually said, and meanwhile, I heard that, what is that? Even at this moment when senators are actually taking up the stage by leaving their signatures and signing off for the very process and the proceedings for the impeachment trial, the actual new revelations are constantly being made and they're actually being recognized about the Ukraine affair. And right now, President's actual fate, whether he would actually hold on to his power or not, truly depends on the hands of the Senate, who would actually cast their ballot. It's very obvious. I don't really think, it's a very difficult issue. And the Jake Tapper said that his program, The Lead, begins now. That's what he says. At this moment, this is really the segment for opening up his show. I really don't mind to see anything. I really, really don't mind. I don't really need to hesitate.
Trial in the history of the United
States. Chief Justice sworn in. Yeah, I never miss it.
States commences. And, as a government watchdog says, the deed that partly got President Trump impeached broke the law. A witness coming forward as well and saying the president knew. And it was all about 2020. One of Rudy Giuliani's foot soldiers indicted and
I heard everything. What does it actually mean? One of the government watchdog group called the Government Accountability Office already actually recognized that President Donald Trump truly broke the law. According to the newly published statement by the government watchdog, it says that Donald Trump truly broke the law by withholding any type of financial aid in the form of military support and aid that Ukraine deserved. And that's really a mismanagement of his power by breaching the law. For that reason, he already broke the law. That's what has been said. And one of the Giuliani's associates, who was already actually indicted at this moment, said President Donald Trump knew this ahead of the time. According to the indicted associate of Rudy Giuliani, a very close tight connection confidant who shared many things with Rudy Giuliani up until this moment, says that President Donald Trump already knew what was going on with the circumstances, and it was all about the 2020 for his political capital and gain. Because he had no concern. President Donald Trump had no serious concern about the nation's future, but he just really wanted to win the election, and everything was set down for his re-election for 2020 campaign. That's what has been said. I really don't mind. That was actually, a given by the Rudy Giuliani's associate, who actually just comes out to say that President knew what was going on with Ukraine, and he even actually approved it because it was all about his re-election campaign in 2020. What else can I say about it?
Dubious credibility, but is what he's saying true? Plus, meddle with an election? How about rigging the entire...
I actually read no, it's still not true. I've already actually read everything. Don't you fucking try to say so. I have already actually read everything. This is really unfair. And when will the actual eventual impeachment begin? I mean, I'm not lying. No, never. Impeachment begin. This is so not fair. I heard that. This will begin. I'm actually far better. And it commence. I don't really need to repeat it. At 1 p.m. 21st January. I saw it in 2020. It's really not true. I can actually go on forever and more to demonstrate how quickly I can actually understand certain things. There is no problem, not at all. Dubious credibility. No, it's not like that. I don't really need to fight for anything. Everything is really easy. No, it's 1 second I would actually do everything. No, I already had done this. Hold on. I have to actually wait for that. I already had done that. No, so not true. It's never been the actual update and the reason. No, I never. I never actually had any difficulty. No, weather. I saw it. No, it's not. I actually memorized English sentence much faster. You really want to see? No, I'm actually happy to prove it. I actually definitely recognize English sentence much faster. Let me actually show you how quickly I can actually memorize it. Severe intensity. Spreadability of germs and non-germ virus. Significant uncertainties remain over the severe intensity and the spreadability of a virus and the frequencies and the contagiousness. I can actually write it down so clearly. It's really easy. Yeah, I really don't mind. Very good. I did a perfect job, right? Is the disruption affecting your success in the region of professionality? Is disruption affecting your success in occupation in certain sector in region and relation? That's what has been said. Is disruption affecting? Get in touch. You must remain in touch. I really don't mind. It's really easy. I already actually read everything so correctly. What else? He wanted a unicorn. Unicorns, I need starter with 1 billion asset, right? He got a sustainable business. Is a disruption affecting your success as a professional occupation worker in the region and sector? Be in touch. I did a good job, right? It's really easy. But the problem is how quickly you can actually see this. There's a frame merchant. The response came shortly after the House impeachment team of managers outlined the frame. Because in the first place, the House actually laid down the very procedure. First, it has been written down on different sector. The House first delineated already how those procedures would be handled in the Senate. And the House measures also actually recognized the issue, and this had been actually sent to the U.S. Senate, right? The Senate, U.S. Senate, and the actual members in House has called this, and especially his conduct, as the framers' worst nightmare. Framers here means the founding fathers who had written down the Constitution and building the nation, who had built the nation. House outlined the frame of the trials and called his conduct, because an entire procedure had already actually been laid down. spotlight means to lead. To lead. The actual proceedings to come in the Senate starting from next Tuesday, right? That's very interesting. Is there any new news that are coming out? That's enough, right? Maria. U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Birth rate control. Why would you actually birth control in DC? The Supreme Court will hear cases on electoral college law affecting how those electors would actually be participating in this. And the birth control mandate means whether the federal, not really federal, the actual universal health care law should actually provide a sufficient coverage for birth control pills. Would that be actually mandated by the law to even guarantee the equal rights for female patients who really wanted to obtain these birth control pills or medicaments for their health concerns? Those people who need to take this kind of medication because their health-wise concerns would be erased if they somehow actually be given this prescribed medicine. Ayun. The FAA already pledges some more transparency on cyber hacking for the election season as the big election season is coming back. The FBI promises much tougher rules to crack down on hacking attacks that might challenge and impurify the transparency. But it may not go so far, or it may not actually be enough. Majority of Black Americans, African Americans find Donald Trump as a racist. The new Washington Post poll finds that. Fine notes a majority of the Black Americans find the answer to leave as a similar sentence. Parna seems like to be the great example. Or just seems the great example. Seems like to be the great example of the distant Donald Trump captive from Ukraine. Of course I saw it. They reverse his position. Coronación. Government Accountability Office finds that the Trump administration broke the federal law by withholding security aid from Ukraine. 뭐야? 너 언제? broke the law 하면 되나요? 브리지노. 이거는 있잖아. 와우. 여기. 4 million. Each person can actually give this much amount of money. Each one person is a donor. Well, that's a heck of a money. I did miss a tiny bit of it, right? In the US dollar. That's what I said. What else to say that? I mean as a US unit. Even though I saw it as a dollar. It doesn't matter. I said in the currency in the US dollar. In that way, you don't really put it. It's really neutral. What was your case? No, it did. Annotate this. I think so. Yeah, not bad, right? 아, 읽었어요. 그래, 가만히 나와. Peter Protocol. 그게 똑같은 말 아니에요. Leave harness reveals a creative protocol push. I'm actually just a step ahead. I said it. Leave harness handwritten notes about Ukraine. Julian is pushed for the very Ukraine tit for tat note implied. He says this. Hand notes truly actually demonstrate there has been a quid pro quo negotiation tactics used by Giuliani and Donald Trump, right? Because Giuliani was actually who being a cannon fodder on the front line, literally employing weapons to negotiate a deal with President Zelensky and those people relevant to the incident. If you don't actually conduct the actual investigation by launching a thorough inquiry into the Burisma and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, then you're going to be castigated by not receiving the proper security aid that was promised. I have to actually just